Hello, everyone, and welcome to Craft and Chat with Miss Craft Princess. I'm your hostess, Miss Craft Princess, and I want to thank you so very much for joining me. I own Miss Craft Princess Designs. I'm a handcrafted stationery and custom gift designer. I specialize in beautiful handcrafted greeting cards for all occasions, and I have a laser, and I make really pretty things. You can see my website, MsCraftPrincessDesigns.com, or you can scan the QR code that is on your screen. So what is Craft and Chat? We get together for about 30-ish minutes and I'm crafting. You might be as well, but you don't have to be a crafter. You're chatting with me in the chat and we're resetting our minds for the week ahead. That's what this is all about. I would come in here on Sundays and just kind of decompress by crafting, fun crafting, not business related crafting, and reset my mind. And I thought, if I need a reset, so does everybody else. Because no matter how much you love your job, nobody ever says the weekend's almost over, yay. So we're just hanging out and we're making something pretty. So I hope that as you come in, you'll say hi to me in the chat. Be sure to give me a thumbs up or a heart and tell others about me. I'm here every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm live on my Facebook channels, on my Miss Craft Princess business page, as well as my personal page. I'm live also on the Creative Spirit Channel.lightcast.com. They have a television station, so I want to say hello to everybody who's watching me live there. And you can pick them up on Roku, Apple TV, I think Android TV, Fire TV, just like everywhere. They also have a YouTube channel. So hi, because a lot of y'all watch me there. Whether you're watching me live or you're watching me in the replay, just thank you, thank you, thank you. So before we get started, I mentioned last night that I was engraving mini boxes because I have a laser and I spend a lot of time on that laser engraving cutting boards for people, these little mini boxes, glasses, a lot of stuff. I'm trying bookmarks, coasters, you name it. So I wanted to show y'all, I told y'all I would show you the boxes. These are not on my website yet, but they will be Tuesday. This is my #1 seller when I go to events. And so what I do is I test it at events first. And if it goes well, then I tell y'all about it and I put it on my website. So this Blessed and Grateful box, it's just a sweet little box. And when you open it up on the inside, I can engrave a name here. So imagine somebody giving this to you, or you giving this to someone, and they know that you didn't just grab anything because when they open it, it has their names in it. Now, when I first came up with these, I was thinking, well, I'll take my jewelry off at the end of the night and I could put it in here. But let me tell you, I get so many great ideas from my customers. I have people who are buying these and they have loved ones who are on their way to college. They're graduating from high school and they're about to go to college. They are buying these. Of course, they have me put their names in them, and they are taking strips of paper and they are putting scriptures on them. And say they are sending these young folks off to college with the word on little strips of paper. So they're calling them blessing boxes. And I absolutely love that. So there are just so many ways you can use that. I have this one, Blessed and Grateful. That's my #1 seller. The Tooth Fairy box. Y'all, is that not cute? Because who wants to put a tooth under a pillow, right? These are so cute. And I do a ton of these and I put the child's name in it. And, you know, they put the tooth in it. They put it on the nightstand. The Tooth Fairy comes, takes the tooth and leaves that $50 bill or whatever the Tooth Fairy's leaving now. And then I have this one. When you pray, God listens. When you listen, God speaks. When you believe, God works. And that is so true. So those are the 3 mini boxes. I have that one, Tooth Fairy, and blessed and grateful. They will be on my website Tuesday. If you want to grab some before then, you know how to get in touch with me. Send me an email or DM me. Okay? So now let's get into what we're going to be doing. Hi, Rada, and happy Sunday to you. I'm going to remove my face, and we are going to raise the camera just a little bit. So tonight is before you throw away that tissue box, watch this. And I literally meant a tissue box. So how many of y'all have these tissue boxes? And it doesn't matter what brand they are. This one came from, well, we know where that one came from, right? But I looked at the tissue box, and what I loved first was the design, okay? Because I'm all about design and paper, and I love that. And I thought that could be a card. But then I got to thinking, what else can we do with a tissue box? This is going to blow your mind, so let's get started. We are going to deconstruct this tissue box, and y'all are going to be, what is she doing? But I hope that at the end of this video, you'll never look at a tissue box the same. This is going to be so incredibly cute. It just really is. I'm excited about it. Okay, so that's what we have thus far. So what we're going to do is take our scissors, and I didn't go through the goodie box like I normally do because I just wanted to get into this project. But we're going to cut this little flap off. And I hope that everybody had a really great week. And we're going to cut the other one. Yesterday, I did the Earth Day Market in Wetumpka. I want to thank everybody who came out to support not only me, but all the other vendors that were there. It was just a beautiful day, and we had fun. We had fun. So now, okay, so let me show you what I'm doing. So that was what it looks like now because I cut those off. Now I'm just going to take it and flip it like this, and I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut right here. I'm going to cut it open right here. So I'm using my big scissors, okay? So this is what I have right now, okay? So now this part down here, that's below, I'm going to turn it this way. Yeah, that's better. You can see the whole thing. Okay, so this is what I have right now. So I'm going to cut this part off. Okay. Now I'm just going to put that over to the side. And so this is what we have. So I'm going to cut these two off right here. I'll get that one off. And then we're going to cut that one off. Okay. That over to the side. So this is what you have right now. Okay. And I'm going to take this flap here and I'm going to cut a part of it off. And I'm not measuring. You just want it shorter than it was. So now that's what you, hi Deborah. Thanks for joining. So that's what you have right now. Okay. So you took a tissue box and we have deconstructed it to look like this. Okay. So we're going to flip it over and you have this here and we don't need that. So we're going to pull that off. And it's okay if you tear that. That is quite all right because you're not going to see it when this thing is finished. So now that is what you have. And you can, I don't have a file with me right now, but you can get like a emery board and kind of smooth in here. Let me flip it over. Well, probably you can see it better here. But they have like, this particular box has like a few little bumps. And so you can smooth that out if you want. But that is what you have. Okay. So that is how you deconstruct the box. Now I'm going to go to the goodie box and show you what I have in there. And we're going to start with paper. And y'all know, I keep telling you, I have a lot of paper. And you see this pack came with 180 sheets. And I got it from Hobby Lobby, Hobby Lobby. I think that's Paper Studio, 1,000 years ago. Because, you know, you just buy paper because it's, you know, it's on sale. And so, and you're going to, it's one-sided and it's paper. So it's thin. It's not cardstock. It's paper, but there's pretty paper in here. And because I was an avid scrapbooker once upon a time. Oh, look at that one. Makes me want lobster. I would buy paper and I would just buy paper. But that's some pretty paper. That's rocks. I don't know what I would do with that one. But baby lobsters. Just really pretty paper. Really pretty paper pad. So anyway, I pull paper out of there. Now, because I always lose track of time when I'm hanging out with y'all, I cut paper already, but I'm using my liquid glue. This is optional, but I inked edges using Vintage Photo because I just love the vintagey look of things with that. I've already die cut my oval and this stitched oval, and this was from the a Sizzix die. And so I used two, and y'all have seen me die cut before, but I just used two dies and ran them through so that I could get the frame, because if I only used one, then I would just get a solid, and I needed the frame. Okay. And then I took pages out of that pretty paper pack, and what I did, I'll show you what I did. I just took the paper and I traced the I traced what it, you know, the side, whatever the like when I needed this, I laid it down and I traced it and I cut it, and then to get the inside, I just punched a hole and then cut around. But it's not completely perfect because I cut it with scissors. So it's going to fit like that. And that is why we have this oval die cut piece, because it will hide the imperfections and you'll never know that my cutting by hand was a little off. Okay. This is not the box I traced it to though. And we're going to cover this entire box. So I'm going to move this one to the side. I just used this one so that you could see how to cut the box. And I'll leave that there if you're interested. And you can always go back and watch this video for at least a month. And then Facebook on my business page will remove it. But if you're on my Brenda Kuhn page, then it'll stay out there right now. So that's what it looks like. So I'm going to push this to the side, and I cut this one. Look at that pretty box. Y'all, isn't that pretty? And I almost didn't cover this one because, you know, purple is my color. But I needed to cover it to show y'all how to do it. But is this box not gorgeous? It's just so pretty. It really is. So what I did before I started covering, because I need to close it, is I laid it down like this. And I took my little pokey tool and I punched a little hole in there all the way through this piece. Big enough for me to feed a piece of twine. Okay. And then I fed it through And so it lays like this. And I'm going to turn it to the side. It lays like that. So because I am going to put some of this paper on it, and this paper is not very heavyweight, what I'm going to do is put a little piece of cardstock on it just to make sure that this never comes up under my paper. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining. Thank you. So I'm going to put a little glue on that. I had the glue upside down for a while, so let's see if it's gonna come out, because I really want to use wet glue. Let's see, I gotta shake it a little bit, get it primed off camera. Okay, there we go. And just something to just kind of hold it. So I want to get it, pull it straight, and then I'm just gonna kind of put that little piece of paper over there so it won't come loose over time. So you're probably saying, MsCraftPrincess, when you finish this, what are you going to do with it? This is a cute addition to a junk journal. If you're a junk journaler, a folio, a scrapbook. It's just, you know, it's really cute. Just stay with me. So now I am going to take this piece of paper, and I've already gone in and inked, so I got ink on my hands. But I've gone on and I've inked the top part, because that's really all you're going to see. And so I am going to use my wet glue. I started to use my ATG gun, but I'm just in a wet glue frame of mind if the wet glue will cooperate. So we're just going to wet glue it. And I've gone in and inked all of the edges of my paper. But like I said, inking is like a personal preference thing. Some people do it, some people don't. I do it. I love to do it. But so we are going to put that there. And I cut it so that I would leave room, because everything's got to fold, right? So I didn't want to put the paper right down to the crease line. So we're going to just kind of mash that down. Okay, that looks good. Now, since I'm here, I am going to put something here. And so I have, see, I got all my pieces. I have a piece of acetate that is going to live right here, which makes a window. Okay. So I think for that, I am going to use my ATG gun, because I don't know, wet glue and acetate just isn't a really great combination. So let me get my ATG gun back in working order over here. Okay, so I am going to pretty much where the glue was, you can kind of see where the glue was for the little piece they already had in there. So I'm just kind of going along that glue line, not really making anything new. And I'm going to take that acetate and, oops, see that ATG, you better know what you're doing when you use it. Okay. So I put that down. Very good. And I'm just rubbing this, any extra glue that's on there, because we don't need extra glue. We just need the glue where we need the glue, or the adhesive where we need the adhesive. Okay. So now there's like no adhesive around here. Very good. So we got that part. So now let us go and fold it up here. So I cut this already, and I'll probably have to trim down some stuff. I was trying to leave a little border between the paper and the box, just so you could see a little of that purple peeking out. So anyway, I am going to put some glue. Man, this wet glue is just it is shy tonight. It maybe doesn't want to be on the live. I don't know. Every time I stop using it, I need to turn it upside down. Okay. And I know that you probably can't see it because it's white on white, but it's going down. It is going down. So, and there's plenty in here because I refilled it. And I may have to switch to my ATG gun. Let's see. Anyway, there it is. Okay, and I'm going to put it upside down while I flip this over and position it like this. Okay. I just love the different papers in that pack. This is just such a cute project. I just I just really liked it and wanted to do it. And so now we're gonna flip it over and we're going to put that piece there. That's gonna live there. And these, let's see, that's gonna live there. And then these are gonna live there. Yep. Okay. Hi, Madeline. Thanks so much for joining. I try to look up and see y'all. I appreciate you. Okay, and we have deconstructed a square tissue box, my friend. So it just goes to show you can craft with anything, right? Just about anything. So we're going to put some glue on this. Let's see, was that the one that goes over there, or does this? No, this goes over here, I think. Let's see. No, that one fits. So this one goes over here. I knew I was going to have to trim them anyway, but it's going to have to trim that much. But that's okay. That's okay. That's why we have scissors in the craft studio and in the box. So now we'll put some glue on this one. And we'll put it down. Cut that one better. Okay. I just think the paper is so pretty. But as pretty as this box is, you could like not even cover it up. But I have paper and I'm trying to use it. And still on my use what I have crusade. And I just go in there and I'm like, okay, let's see what paper I haven't used. Because I knew I had a lot. So There we go. Having that purple peek through. That's on. So we got those done, and we'll go back and trim. And so now that top needs to have this one. Yep, needs to have that one. So we'll get the glue and we'll glue this. I got rid of the purple and turned it up a notch. I tried it. I was first like, is this the box I want to cover? I don't know. But when I made the decision, I stuck with it. And I got a little glue on my window. But when it dries, I have a glue eraser that I can deal with. So I'm going to trim off the excess here. Because we want this to be nice and neat, right? And then trim off a little bit excess here. So we want everything to be nice and neat. This would probably be something you'd be using for your own junk journal, but you still want to have it nice and neat. So, got that out of the way. And then let's do this side. Same way. Oops. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit the camera. I try not to do that in case somebody's got motion, you know, gets motion sickness or something. We don't want to be the cause of that. And then we'll trim this off a little bit. Okay, then we'll look at the rest of it. Got that little purple shining through. Okay, so what we need to do then is glue that up because this is going to be a pocket. Let's go ahead and put our brown on there. And then what that does, I said it gives it a pop. I picked up the brown from this inside paper. That's why I chose the brown. But it does marry well with these colors. And I knew all the paper colors were going to go together well because they're all in the same family. Came out of the same paper pack. So we are going to put a little glue on that. Gotta make that sound when you do that. And lay it down so it covers any imperfections. Glue there. There we go. Okay, and then what this does is it folds up. And then that folds. And then how are you going to close it? And that's easy. I already punched out a circle. And the circle lives right here. And then I'm going to put it on with some dimensionals. I couldn't remember the name of them last week. They're not going to stump me this week. Put on some dimensionals. I'll probably put it about right here. Pick that up. Let it live about right there. And then you close it. This wraps around here. And then you just wrap it around. And it closes like that. So let me show you one that I had already done. I didn't put pockets in this one. Let me open it up. But this is a pocket. So you can make something to slide in there. And you could make pockets here. Or this could be where a photo can live. You could do small photos here. Or this could be your journaling spot. Or I could see a big photo, and then a small photo here. I've got to glue that. I just told you that was a pocket, but I didn't glue it. So let me glue it, because that's what that is. That is a pocket, which is why I didn't cover that. So we're going to put glue on both sides there. We're going to fold that up. Oops, got it a little high, but that's okay. I get a little carried away sometimes. And you have to let it set for a little while to dry, and that's a pocket. So let me show you one that I did already. This was it, the completed one, okay? So different paper from the same pad. That's a pocket there. You can put something in, and then make that little circle. You can open that up. And I made little pockets, and I just stuck little pieces of the tissue box in here so that you could see. And I used my scallop punch. So I've got a little pocket there if you wanted to put some ephemera in there. A bigger pocket here if you wanted to put some ephemera in there, or you can put a card that has a photo in it. And then I made another little pocket there. You could put ephemera in. Do a little journaling there if you want to. I could see sliding a photo in there, and you never would know that that came from a tissue box, right? I hope y'all like that. I was just so excited about this project. I was like, OMG, from a tissue box. Simple, easy, can go in your junk journals, can go in your scrapbooks. Just a cute little, little doodad, little pocket, little. Well, you'll have to try it, Michelle, and post it. Tag me when you do. Tag Brenda and MsCraftPrincess. And so that's what we made tonight. You just close it up. I didn't put pockets in this one, but you certainly could. And those are tissue boxes. You know, what started as a square tissue box is now pockets for a junk journal. Gosh, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me bring my face back up. I felt so cute. I saw those tissue boxes and I was like, they can be something. I know they can be something. And I am going to take this one and I am going to use that print and put it on a card. And Retta says, that's so cute. So many things we could put in it. You're absolutely right. Whether you're putting ephemera in there, whether you're putting photos in there, it's just a really cute way. So I say, if you're a crafter, like, look at what you have, you know, and think, how can I use that before I throw it away? So rather than that, those two tissue boxes going in the garbage, they have become cute little ephemera packs or pockets for junk journals. Thank y'all so much. We went over a little bit, but thank y'all so much for joining me and engaging. I really hope y'all enjoyed that. Again, I'm your hostess, MsCraftPrincess. I own MsCraftPrincess Designs. I will be here next Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Craft and Chat. I want to tell you right now that I will not be live on Mother's Day. So that's a little ways out, but it'll be here before I know it. And I wanted to put that out. I will not be live Mother's Day. But thank y'all so much for joining. I pray that you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, what's left of it, and an amazing week next week. Until then, just be blessed. Bye.